NBC was cracking. First and foremost, Jumpinette and myself would like to thank you guys for watching our official EPK.
We hope you enjoyed it. We want to take the next couple of minutes out now and describe to you a show we've been working on for the last 4 years.
So we used to perform at a hostel in San Francisco called USA Hostels. The hostel was just filled with young foreigners from all around the world.
A lot of them were vacationing for the first time in America, so you see the culture shock that they get when they come into the hostel.
But the thing that we found very funny was the guys who worked there, they seemed like they were having an even better time than the people that just came to America.
It was at that moment that we kind of looked at each other and realized what we had on our hands here. So we wrote a comedy show about 5 socially impaired Americans working at an international hostel in San Francisco. The name kind of just came to us out of the blue. It felt so natural. It's called Hostel Environment. Under the surface, Hostel Environment actually is a live-action metaphor for how the world and America kind of play off each other. So we're going to be playing off of all of these cultural stereotypes from around the world and how America actually has a couple of their own to offer.
A lot of the series takes place inside of the hostel, which is called the bungalow.
The main characters that work at the hostel are actually a really crazy bunch. We've got Stacy, Cindy, Brody, Dante, and Eddie. Stacy's probably the most unequipped for her job. She's the closest thing to an owner that the hostel has. Her dad actually gifted her the hostel in hopes to see that she could possibly take over his hotel empire when he decides to retire. The problem with that is that Stacy's more interested in gaining Instagram followers than she is to making her business work.
Next character, her name is Cindy. She's Stacy's go-to woman slash punching bag slash assistant. Cindy is a very sweet, very tolerant, very educated young lady.
Very.
She's so smart that she literally could be working at Google, but right now she can't get a job, so she's just working as Stacy's assistant in the meantime.
And then there's Dante. He's a crazy, paranoid conspiracy theorist who's actually extremely intelligent in his own way. He represents any disenfranchised person in America. He actually thinks the I in iPhone stands for Illuminati.
The I in iPhone stands for Illuminati. If you want to know what really caused 9/11, watch this movie.
He actually works at the front desk so that he can keep eye contact with all the guests coming in because he doesn't trust any of them. He's that paranoid.
And then there's Eddie. Eddie is Dante's best friend slash sidekick. He's kind of like if Charlie from It's Always Sunny had a baby with Frank Abagnale from Catch Me If You Can. Eddie is a childish hustler. Eddie is a childish hustler. Eddie is a childish hustler. Eddie is he's a childish hustler who doesn't think there's any wrong way to make $1 at all. He schemes, he plots, he's coming for the #1 spot. Eddie is the events coordinator, and it's all kind of sketchy things that he coordinate, like what's your social security number? What's the VVC number on the back of your debit card?
Finally, there's Brody, aka Amber Alert, aka Too Hot to Touch, aka Bruce Brochy. He is probably the most successful person at the hostel. And when I mean successful, I mean his parents left him the most money to spend throughout his life. 75% of the time you will see him with a beer in his hand. The other 25%, he's got a girl in his hand. And 100% of the time, there's either a girl or a beer in his hand. So Brody stays at the hostel for one simple reason, because it actually reminds him of an adult frat house. His last name is actually Reese, and he's the heir to the Reese's Peanut Butter fortune. He actually just wants to keep the party going.
Now, the most interesting character in the hostel might actually be the guests. They come from all over the world with all different kind of perspectives, styles, cultures, traditions, stereotypes, and different beliefs of what to expect when they get to America. However, the bungalow actually flips all of that upside down.
With their lack of foreign relations knowledge, the staff has been known to make mortal enemies into bunkmates, religious adversaries into beer pong bros, and even racial rivals into dance partners. This is truly a hostile environment. So we've actually created Twitter accounts for each one of the 5 main characters. Click on it and actually you'll get more of a feel for the crazy world we've created that is Hostel Environment. Thank you for watching our show. Buy this show, NBC. I don't want to drive for Lyft anymore.
I got a hold of my shit. Look at that.